Thanks for joining us for the Hospitality Hangout, a hospitality-focused podcast where the founders of Branded Strategic share their insights and bring technology and innovation leaders that are making things happen in the industry we love. My name is Jimmy Frischling, otherwise known as the Finance Guy. I'd like to introduce my partner, Mr. Michael Schatzberg, also known as the Restaurant Guy.
And thank you for that kind introduction, Jimmy. And to all those listening, feel free to call me Shatsy. Together, we are the personalities behind Branded Strategic Hospitality. We work at the intersection of hospitality, technology, innovation, capital, and of course, coffee. We love coffee. Jimmy loves coffee. He loves it hot. He loves it cold. He loves it on ice. He loves it as ice cream. He just loves coffee. So that's what we do here. Jimmy, I got to tell you, we are live right now in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona. It is the Restaurant Leadership Conference. I am loving it here. RLC. It is one of the greatest events we ever go to. Am I right?
This is a great one. And it is one of the biggest ones they've had. So congrats to our friends at Winsight, to Marcus.
1,846 people. I counted yesterday.
Yeah, because you're the numbers guy, Shats.
I am in 1,846, and it would have been 47, but somebody left early because of the Southwest thing.
All right, it happens.
It does. And I got to tell you, Jimmy, it is a who's who in the restaurant business. Why we're here, I have no idea. I got to be honest with you, but it is a who's who. And I got to tell you, we got a phenomenal show lined up for you here at the Restaurant Leadership Conference. Jimmy, what do we got?
Well, let's kick it off with our first guest, our friend, Kim Plahn, president of Dunn Brothers Coffee. How's that for a boom? How's that to kick off a podcast?
I got to tell you, it's unbelievable. They've got 65, 75 stores based out of California. Not California.
We're based out of Minneapolis.
That's what I meant. Minneapolis, California.
You were close, yes.
Yeah, well, there's a Minneapolis, California. I'm sure of it. Well, I was close.
Our weather's alike.
Yeah, no, it's very similar. I heard yesterday it was snowing in Minneapolis. But anyway, it is great. It is great to have Kim here. So, Kim, give us a little background on yourself.
Oh, fabulous. I have been with Dunn Brothers Coffee for 16 years. We are a coffee franchisor that is a little unique. We offer a rare blend of coffee, food, and community. And by that, I mean we roast in our stores, we bake fresh, our pastries. We have ties to all the communities that we're doing business within.
I love it. So let's just look at some things here. Dunn Brothers is the OG of coffee shops, according to my research from Nielsen, S&P, and Moody's, Jimmy. Correct me if I'm wrong. You've been around since 1987. Not you, but not Kim, but Dunn Brothers Coffee since 1987. 57.
I think it's fair to say we've all been around since 87. At least I think
Kim is much younger than us. Jimmy.
Yes, but we've still all been around since 87.
You don't know. You don't know how old. I mean, I was looking at Kim. I thought 90.
Okay.
But 57 locations and counting across the country, right? How's the expansion going?
Well,
or is my number wrong? Was it not 57?
We're about 55 locations, so very
55
close,
locations,
yeah.
But there will be 57 soon.
Very, very, very soon.
Very soon.
We were acquired by Gala Capital Partners last summer.
Wait a second. Is that breaking news, Jimmy?
It is definitely not breaking news.
It's not breaking news?
But it's the first time we've ever spoken about this on the podcast on a Tuesday from Phoenix, Arizona. So at this moment, that's breaking news.
It is RLC breaking news. Dunn Brothers has been acquired by Gala Capital Partners, and a shout out to our friend Anand Gala for another incredible acquisition. Can you share? How's it going with this acquisition?
It's going great. We're getting infrastructure all set. We're getting our pipelines going. We're looking at new models for business. We have wonderful funding behind us, and we are ready to grow and share our brand and bring it through not only in store formats that are different than what we offer today. We'll have a drive-through only store format that will be opening soon. And we're coming with consumer packaged goods.
Oh, I love it. So we're going to be able to buy Dunn coffee at a grocer near me?
That is very likely. I don't know where near.
What grocer?
I do not know where near me.
Albertsons.
Albertsons.
Kroger.
We're kicking our process off, so we'll shoot for Albertson
Walmart,
and Kroger.
Target.
Yes.
Give me something.
Lens Byerly. Yeah.
So what's next for Dunn Brothers?
Well, growth.
Yeah.
We have. I mean, it's a great. We're in a great segment. So as we look at, we have huge opportunity for drive-through only. I mean, that is the model that is expanding for everybody.
Yep.
And so we're excited to be putting our model out there and starting to grow under that as well. continuing to grow under our traditional formats with drive-through and great food. We are launching catering, getting on all the third-party delivery platforms. So we're going to see off-premise growing for our business as well.
I love it.
By the way, dropping knowledge there. There's a lot of interesting things going on.
All I'm thinking about is I'm going to be in Minneapolis in July. Going to Dunn Brothers.
Going to Dunn Brothers.
Getting some of the fresh baked goods.
We're actually in 7 states, so you could find us somewhere else.
What other state?
We're that Midwest corridor. So the Dakotas, Iowa, Wisconsin, Missouri, Texas.
Yeah. Texas, I have a shot at being. I don't think I'll be in the Dakotas anytime
Midwestern
soon.
Values.
Yeah, no, I love it. I just don't go to the Dakotas as much as I probably should be.
Well, we gave a shout out to the whole Gala Capital crew, but we really do think they're tremendous people. They're not just some of the smartest guys that we have the privilege of working with, smartest people, I should say, but also really one of the nicest groups that we get to work with. So really, we're cheering for you guys, Dunn Brothers and Gala, and that's going to be great. Listen, we're here at RLC. It's day 2. So far, it's been a great show. What's the buzz? What's everyone talking about? Anything catching your eyes since you've been at the show?
I think we all, we all know what we've gone through over the last year, and we're all had supply chain, and that's improving. We're seeing a little bit of improvement in costs. We're continuing to look at labor, but we're really seeing technology and AI as the kind of that exciting, shiny thing. So as we look at different ways to market and do business today.
Yeah, I think the digitization of our industry is the genie's out of the bottle, and really, I think it's very exciting. And then a lot of the initiatives you just talked about are all really going to be somewhat emboldened or are possible thanks to the tech that's coming onto the scene. There's been a lot of great speakers already. Anyone particularly interesting? Any session you thought was particularly left you with a strong impression?
Well, I always love the opening when you get to hear and see how you're doing in comparison to great operators that are here at the show. Really fun to see and hear from the CEO of the year. And it really is, all about collaborating and inclusion and working with your teams to find those great ideas. So lots of good things, and then just trends. So great people, great, dinners and meetings and
I got to tell you, is it me or has Scottsdale got some great restaurants?
Right.
I mean, I got to tell you, and come from New York City, that says a lot, right?
It does say a lot.
I mean, maybe they don't have as many, but they got a lot of good ones.
And by the way, a lot of nice dining
outdoor
alfresco
dining.
Alfresco.
I love it. They got the heaters. I mean, it's gorgeous.
Yes.
You don't need the heaters when you come from Minneapolis.
Good point. But I just love that they have like the fire pits going.
Everywhere.
Everyone's
got a fire. Everyone's got a fire pit.
Not New York City. They don't allow it. They said it's a hazard.
It's frowned upon.
Yes. I don't understand why it's not a hazard here.
All right, listen, it wouldn't be a podcast, even on the road, without the crystal ball moment. We have the opportunity to ask our guests where they see restaurants, and since we're talking about technology, 2 years from now. So when we return to RLC 2 years from now, we want to know, what do you think are going to be some of the hot topics? What do you think may have changed, evolved? What are your thoughts? You're predicting the future.
Well, we've done a good job at innovating, and I think that's going to continue. So we're going to see a way to operate and continually look at ways to be operationally efficient, even with challenges as they come. So using some of these technologies to do that, using it to help our labor forces to do their jobs better. I think we're going to see some relief in some of those areas. And even if we come through a time that the economy is a little shaky, I think we're going to, we're all looking at ways to make sure that we're optimizing and innovating during that.
So you're really laying into technology to help you on efficiencies and things like that.
Exactly.
I love it. Any tech that you're loving, that you're using, that you're like, whoa, I can't believe I haven't been using this for a while.
Well, we are excited I'm going in the Easy Cater.
Nice.
Love it. Yeah.
Yep. And so we'll be on Easy Cater a week from now.
That should drive a lot of revenue, right?
Yeah. So Look for Dunn Brothers on Easy Cater, because you'll be able to have.
Is that breaking news?
Morning heroes.
That is breaking news. Dunn Brothers has announced a partnership with Easy Cater.
Boom.
This is sponsored by Easy Cater.
That's outstanding. Schatzberg, I guess we're done now. There's nothing left for us.
Listen,
right?
I got to tell you, we are almost done.
Oh, that's right.
We are almost done.
Almost
We've got
that's
the
right.
branded
Almost.
Quickfire RLC Arizona edition. I'm going to ask 5 lightning round questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
Don't think too hard. First thing comes to mind. Here we go. Arizona Cardinals or the Phoenix Suns?
Suns.
True or false? Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark was filmed in Arizona.
False.
Well, I got to be honest with Jimmy. Care to guess?
I'm going to go true.
Great guess. Not only was Raiders of the Lost Ark filmed in Arizona, but so were several scenes from the Temple of Doom.
Oh.
And from what I understand, the latest edition of Raiders of Indiana Jones, I think it's the 5th or 6th one. Harrison Ford's like 87 in this one. I think it may have been filmed in Arizona too. I don't know.
All right. By the way,
I saw a trailer. It looked really great.
I had no idea, but I figured, Kim said false. I said true. I figured one of us would be right.
Yes,
and I went in Arizona. It has to be Arizona.
Well, I just saw a trailer and it looked good, and it looked like it could have been filmed in Arizona, but I don't know. So anyway, favorite Arizona-born singer: Stevie Nicks, Alice Cooper, or Joe Jonas?
Ooh, Stevie Nicks.
I agree. I agree.
Nicks. Grand Canyon or Bryce Canyon?
Ooh, I did the donkeys down the Grand Canyon.
Loving the Grand Canyon. Okay, if you were stranded in the desert, right, and it's just and you need a survival partner. You're stranded out there in the desert. There's snakes. There's cactus. It's hot, and you gotta survive. And you need one person to help you survive. Who would you have better odds of surviving with, Jimmy or Shatsy? Jimmy, stand up. What do you think?
That's a tough one to pick.
It is a tough one.
Yeah. I think you're both steering at me, but I will pick Jimmy.
All right.
I wonder why. Why would you have a better odds? What is Jimmy going to do? Is he going to start a fire? Is he going to chop wood? What's he doing?
I'm going to last longer.
I retain water and pizzas.
It was tough.
I love it.
All right, listen, Kim, thank you so much. I know you have a very busy schedule. I know the conference is loaded with things to
do. They got to open up like 5 more stores today.
Before the end of the day.
Yeah.
And but we really appreciate you coming on to do this with us. And we're so excited about what Dunn Brothers is doing. And again, we'll be cheerleading the whole way. And we can't wait to order us some Dunn Brothers coffee.
Oh, I'm going. When I go to Minneapolis.
I'm going to be getting it in New York.
July, I'm getting an iced coffee and a muffin, one of those fresh baked muffins.
And the community.
Yeah,
I love it.
Hey, thanks so much. This was awesome.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
It's my privilege.
Right. I got to tell you, Jimmy, I love what Kim's doing over there at Dunn Brothers. I am excited. She made it sound so good.
Dunn Brothers, the OGs. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, what was it? 1987 they're making coffee?
It's a good year.
I mean, seriously. I mean, I got to tell you, I love it. They're going to grow that to a couple hundred stores very quickly.
And we knew them when.
I hope they come to New York. I like it.
I hope so too.
I like the name Dunn Brothers, Well, listen, Jimmy, we got another phenomenal guest. I don't know how we get them. I don't know how we round them up. I don't know if they feel bad for us or what it is, but we are super, super excited to have another fantastic guest here at RLC. Jimmy, care to introduce our guest?
Our friend Alex Eagle, CEO of Freebirds World Burrito. Freebirds World Burrito, I got to tell you, just saying the name makes me smile.
I love it. And I got to tell you, I've seen their website. I've seen a couple stores when I was down in the Texas area. They're fun-looking stores. They're good-looking.
Our friend Mark Glosserman loves it.
Loves it, yeah.
Loves it.
Well, he was a Texas guy.
He's a Texas guy.
Yeah, he went to UT. I mean, that's why he opened Hill Country Barbecue.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got to tell you, maybe they'll come to New York one of these days. We could use a really good burrito joint.
Maybe we should ask the CEO.
Well, that's a good idea. I like what you're talking about.
We got him here.
Well, listen, Alex, you're no stranger to the trade show circuit. So what is it that separates the Restaurant Leadership Conference from all the rest of the shows that we go to?
Oh man, I've seen so many good friends here and met some new ones. So it's just a great event to catch up with people.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, everybody comes to these events, these conferences for a myriad of different reasons. Jimmy comes because he loves the food. He loves the buffets they have. He loves the food. Am I right?
Shaming me.
He loves the buffets, and that's really his motivation. I come really to meet the people. But I mean, there's so many operators over here. I mean, it's just an unbelievable event. What are you looking to gain when you come to an event like this? When you come to, are you just looking to connect and network? Are you looking to learn about some new technology and innovations? What is it that brings you here?
It's a little bit of both. Always I try to fill the time as much as I can, hit a session if I can. Haven't been able to this time because I keep running into great people. So
Dance bars.
And we make you do podcasts.
That too.
By the way, Jeter's coming to next.
Oh yeah, I know Jeter.
He's coming to next.
I already spoke. I already spoke to Marcus and Keating. Yeah. Jeter will be on the podcast.
Hey, listen, Alex.
He doesn't know that yet.
Yeah, he's probably not going to do it. Yeah. Listen, Alex. We'd love to hear. Let's take a step back on the 411 on Freebirds, and even how did you get involved with the company? How many locations? And what are your goals for 2023?
Yeah, I worked for the ownership group for 11 years of Freebirds. So
is that breaking news?
Been around a long time.
Is that breaking news?
So that news is 11 years in the making.
That is breaking news.
Yeah. So we got 63 locations, 100% company operated in Texas, focused on craveable burritos and bowls. Though we do have some pretty killer nachos and tacos and salads as well.
Getting a little hungry. Shatsy's getting hungry.
You like big burritos?
Who doesn't like a burrito?
Who doesn't, right?
I mean, yeah. And then you said about the nachos. That kind of got me going.
Yeah. So we're opening more locations. We'll open 6 more restaurants this year and hopefully more next year.
Given that, we lean in heavily on the tech side, the tech stack, any cool tech that's, kind of in your purview or you're thinking about, any interesting ideas that maybe you picked up from the show or just things that you're charging ahead with, was on your roadmap? Yeah,
we've been upgrading our tech stack lately. We did our POS last year, as well as our time and attendance.
What'd you put on the point of sale?
We did Q Beyond, which we're really
thrilled about. Loving Q.
Yeah, we're really happy. Q. We're really happy with it, and we're looking at back office loyalty these days.
Very nice.
What are you doing with the back office loyalty?
Well, we don't know yet. This is kind of the year of optimization. We're going to talk to people. We're going to learn what's out there and what might be a good fit for us.
I love it.
Hey, listen, given that the consumers, we just celebrated National Burrito Day a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. How important are the LTOs, those limited time offers and other, opportunistic things that, you use potentially promoting the business and engaging with your guests?
They're huge. We actually had record sales on National Burrito Day this year, and I think we'll do even better next year. And we've got 4 LTOs that we've built up to be double-digit percentage of our P mix. So we have 4 very successful LTOs. 3 of them are protein-based, and then we've got a special tortilla out in this first quarter that's a low-net carb tortilla that's been a hit too.
A low-carb burrito?
Yeah, actually, we have cauli rice too. So if you really want to be keto, you can do it at Freebirds. You can have a low net carb burrito.
Look at that.
Industry first.
I love it.
Industry first. By the way, Schatz,
you heard it here.
That's breaking news.
By the way, that's legitimate breaking news.
Listen, all you carb-free folks out there, if you need a carb-free burrito, get on a plane, not Southwest, because I don't believe they're flying right now.
Hey, take it easy.
Well, it's just true. I mean,
true statement,
that's news. That's news. All right. Just if you want to go, you can't fly Southwest today. Jimmy, it's a fact. Get on a flight, not Southwest. Get over to Dallas or Houston or Austin, wherever your favorite Freebirds is, and get one of these carb-free burritos immediately.
And this segment was sponsored by JetBlue. JetBlue, they're still flying. Okay, listen, it wouldn't be a podcast without a crystal ball moment. We're going to ask you, just where do you see restaurants and technology 2 years from now? So being that we're at RLC today, we want to know when we return here 2 years from now, what do you think is going to be the hot topics? What do you think may have changed, evolved? Any thoughts?
Well, I think people are still taking a look at the labor issue the most, and how do we become more efficient, and how do we create a better work environment for our employees at the same time?
What does better work environment mean for you with the employees?
Eliminating all those jobs that nobody wants to do, like washing dishes.
Well, how we get them washed?
Well, we keep making progress in this industry. So
that's true. We are cutting edge. And when I think of an industry and the cutting edge of technology, I think of NASA and I think of the hospitality industry. Am I right, Jim?
So close.
All right.
So close. By the way, I think we're going to solve that dishwasher thing. We're working on it. Let's call our friends
Middleby,
Ecolab. Let's get these guys together. Let's solve this thing.
Listen, as you like to say, it would never be a podcast without the Quickfire edition. The branded Quickfire Arizona edition. We are going to ask you 5 lightning round questions. Don't think too hard. First thing comes to your mind. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay. Arizona Cardinals or the Phoenix Suns?
Phoenix Suns.
True or false? Phoenix is the only state capital with a population of more than 1 million residents?
The only state capital?
According to my notes, Phoenix.
False.
That is false. Jimmy, care to guess?
Yeah, that question was really confusing me. I'm going to agree with Alex and say false.
True. And to add to that, after New York City, Los Angeles, Chicago, and Houston, the city is the 5th largest city nationwide. I'm just reading what the producer put down.
We did say a capital, I guess. Well, you know what?
It's a state capital.
State capital.
Is that wrong?
What's at a higher elevation, the Grand Canyon or Phoenix?
Jesus, I don't know. Jimmy.
I'm going Phoenix.
False.
False.
Yeah,
By the way, that is a
Grand
quick.
Canyon.
That's a question.
That's a great.
Grand Canyon.
This is a quick fire.
How did
first.
you miss that one?
This is a quick fire first. The guest quick fired us. We both got it wrong.
Yeah, but you knew it had to be the Grand Canyon because it was so weird, right? Because
Right.
you think the Grand Canyon, anyway. All right.
You must have done well on tests.
No, absolutely not. I did horrible on test. Okay. Favorite Arizona-born singer? Stevie Nicks, Alice Cooper, or Joe Jonas?
Stevie Nicks.
Stevie Nicks, wasn't that?
Yeah. With authority. Stevie
that was
Nicks.
like, Stevie Nicks
just
obviously.
dumped on the rest of them.
Grand Canyon?
I won't sing for you guys.
Grand Canyon, Bryce Canyon.
You'll lose followers. I'm sorry. What was that one?
Grand Canyon, Bryce Canyon.
Grand.
Yeah, it's got to be Grand. I mean, Jimmy, do you know the Grand Canyon is has a higher altitude?
Definitely.
Than Phoenix?
Always. Who doesn't know that?
That's like obviously. If you were okay, so now you're stranded in the desert. You're standing in the Grand Canyon. You're in the Grand Canyon, okay, and it's hot. It's like 110 Arizona hot, right? And you need
Dry heat.
Dry. It is very dry though. You're not sweating. It's just dry. Okay, and you got to pick one person to survive. That's going to help you survive the Grand Canyon for like a couple of days. Who are you picking, Jimmy or I?
Well, Jimmy looks like he can cook better than you, but that's just a guess.
I'll take it.
All right, so you pick. All right, so
Two for
basically
two.
everyone right now is stranded in the desert and they're picking Jimmy to survive.
Picking Jimmy.
All right, I like it. All right, Alex, I know you got a lot of stuff to do. You got a lot more. When are you coming to New York? When is
man.
When is Freebirds?
When do you want me to come to New York?
Well, why don't you come to New York and hang out with us? But when's Freebirds coming to New York?
Oh, you just want Freebirds. Okay.
Well, no, I want
that'll
you
be a
too. We
while.
want you
That'll be a
too.
while.
We want you and Freebirds. But when's Freebirds? Is there any? I mean, you're only in Texas.
Do you think we should jump to New York from Texas?
I mean, as a businessman, I probably wouldn't guess selfishly. I'd like you to, but I don't think it's probably, I don't usually think you go from Texas to New York. It's probably, state next door. But I mean, just selfishly be cool.
I would love to because I love Manhattan. So I'd love to spend more time.
There we go.
If you want to open up a store in New York, you talk to Jimmy and he will not only open it, he will run it.
Yeah, we have 2 loyal customers ready to give our commitment to Freebirds.
Yeah, so I don't know what a burrito costs over at Freebirds.
As long as each of you is spending $1 million a year, we're good.
Well, I was going to say probably not, but I mean, we're good for a burrito a week. And you do the math on that. That's probably close to $1 million.
It's a little light, Schatz.
It's light.
Stay with the
Depends
numbers.
how much is a burrito? Could be really expensive.
Manhattan pricing.
And I'm
Yeah,
pricing.
that could be $100,000 a burrito, Jimmy.
There you go.
All right. Anyway, Alex, I know you got a lot of work to do. We really appreciate you jumping in here and taking the time and spending some time on the hospitality hangout.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks so
Alex.
much, man.
Cheers.
I got to tell you, Jimmy, I love what Alex is doing over there at Freebirds. I mean, it's awesome.
You know, I had to use a lot of willpower, but I wanted to ask Alex, how often does someone say when he introduces the name of his company, Freebird?
Yeah.
Freebird.
Freebird. I mean, I just love it. It does have a whole feel of like, I don't know, it feels like 1970s,
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin kind of feel to it. And the stores are all kind of really cool, like Grateful Dead-y kind of stuff. Anyway, listen, gentlemen, we can go on about Freebirds for a long time. We'll go to Dallas and we're going to go check out a Freebirds and eat there and have a great time. Right now, we've got another incredible guest with us here. We've got Daran.
Shatsy, I got to tell you, last time, I think you might have messed up the name.
I did. And I
intro.
didn't want to do it again. Was it Han or Han?
Han, you got it.
Han. I didn't
Daran
think that one was a tough one.
It was because you know why? Because I messed up the last time.
I think you said Daryl last time, which, by the way, is my alter ego when we start drinking. People call me Daryl.
Daryl Han.
No, that's like my other brother, Daryl.
We got Daran Han.
By the way, we're definitely not editing that out. That's too good.
That's
gold.
stays. That's
gold,
podcast
Jerry. It's
gold right
Podcast
there.
gold.
Cargill Horizons, new business development, friend for a long time, having a great time. Daran, introduce a little bit about yourself if you can. Tell us what you do over there at Cargill, that little company that no one's ever heard of.
Yeah, well, it's funny because when you get into these conversations here, that's one of the first things is what in the world is Cargill doing at RLC? And it's the same question.
Or on our podcast.
Or on your podcast. funny enough, Scott Tatalo, our head of the McDonald's business unit, heard the last podcast, and he made a point to stop by and say, you guys do a tremendous job. So congratulations from one of our biggest business leaders.
I think we have another guest. That'll be our next guest.
There you go.
Oh, he didn't say do it. He just said, nice job, fellas.
We can get him. So tell us a little about,
I always appreciate the invite and the chance to chat with the team. People are always interested in why Cargill's here. I think a big part of our long-term strategy and vision is that we realize to serve the industry better, we have to start getting technology and understanding how digital and the technology solutions are impacting what we're doing across the industry. So my role in Cargill is very focused on that. And as we set up this new business division, I lead the food tech division as we continue to think about how we serve food service, grocery retail, as well as food manufacturing, CPG from a technology product portfolio perspective, and in addition to our food products that we already do.
I love it.
It's awesome. Also, I think you once told me that Cargill touches like 70% of the food we eat. Like I'm probably butchering it, but what was the great stat?
Flour, sugar, chocolate, soy.
Anything you can get from a commodity product.
Tuna salad.
We got the seafood division. That's a brand new business line for us. We've got all the proteins. So anything that comes from a chicken, a cow, a turkey, et cetera, et cetera. That's a big part of it. We're in the cocoa and chocolate business. So originating cocoa powder, making cocoa and chocolate products. It's always interesting to think about the platform business of Cargill as a food ingredients company. And our corporate comms team is always very cautious about the number we say.
Oh, sorry. That was me. I probably
No, you're good. 70% is conservative number. So that's what we're allowed to say, which is 70%.
It's over 100%, Jimmy.
Depends how much you eat.
And I'm not the finance guy, but it's over 100%.
You know what, Schatz? We'll let your number stand. That's good. We'll let your number stand. All right, listen. We're thrilled to have you back with us. Tell us what's new at Cargill Digital Studios.
Yeah, as we continue to build this out, the portfolio, last time we talked was, I think, only 4 or 5 new products in the portfolio. We're up to 8 now, and that's just in the food tech piece of this. We've also got the international side where we're continuing to grow in the ag tech and food tech space, focus on India, Southeast Asia, et cetera. Maybe a couple things to highlight is checked. Our food locker business continues to be in a hyper growth stage. A lot of national chains and rollouts that are happening. I know the team is feeling the pain as we continue to scale and mature that organization, but it's in a really good place. It's a good problem to have for us to think about how we continue to level up in that product and the growth of that product. And I think as we continue to look at the rest of the portfolio, the new stuff is where the exciting things are. We're getting more into local marketplaces. We're also thinking about the intersection of food service and grocery retail and CPG. Nowadays, if you're a restaurant, it's like, do I have to just do restaurant stuff or can I do other things? And if I'm a grocery chain, can I do other things? And we're starting to see these lines get blurred. And so our portfolio is growing to represent that as well.
Very blurred indeed. When you think about Walmart today, it's the largest grocer in the country. And people, you ask that question, people would never think that. I think Kroger and Albertsons, that deal done. I mean, so there's just their ghost kitchens. There's so much going on.
One of our favorite customers is actually just a local customer in Minneapolis. They're called Official Fried Chicken. They're a fried chicken concept. And we just launched the food lockers with them, the Czech business in Target Field, which is a Twins baseball stadium. Mm-hmm. Super interesting model. But they're a local entrepreneur, right? And Jared over there, who leads that business, is super fascinating. He's thinking about how can our sauces and things that we're making on the dry rub side of it end up in CPG space, direct to consumer pieces of it. They're in a cloud kitchen, so they're operating virtual ghost model already on top of physical locations, as on top of the stadium arena. So I think there's just a hyper growth mentality if you're willing to be agile and flexible in the way that you're innovating your business model, and blurring those lines is actually really good for operators long term as they think about where the
new revenue
where the growth's going to come from.
100%, man. I mean, you see some of these big brands that have been inside the frozen food sections of the supermarkets for quite some time.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I love it.
We had the privilege of having you on the show with us over in September over at FS Tech, and you've mentioned you've added a few companies since then. Are you allowed to share the names, or you want to hold that off till we go back to FS Tech?
We can talk about a few of them. So
let's do it.
Maybe 3 to highlight off the top of my head.
Okay.
And there's some other ones in the portfolio that we should have conversations on the partnership side and thinking about how we continue to grow new opportunity spaces. But maybe a good one to highlight is Reskewed, RESKUED, Reskewed. And so it's actually a secondary marketplace for food waste. So we're working with a lot of the broadliners. Cisco is a big partner of ours, and we're working with the rest of them and getting some of these pilots stood up. And the whole idea is that if you look at the distribution business, there's so much waste that goes into that setup. And it's really not something you can ultimately completely get rid of, because demand is always going to be dynamic on the consumption side. And so what Rescue does is it takes some of the leftover product and helps create markets and access to that product from a discounted perspective, from a donation perspective. And so it's actually getting waste out of the system by creating this e-commerce platform to take that extra product and wasted product or expiring product from distributors and getting it out into the community. So that's one we're really, really proud of. That's launched in the Austin area, again, partnering with Cisco and growing that business long term. And the idea is to get to a national footprint where we're able to have these marketplaces in these communities where all this excess food and food waste product traditionally gone to the landfill, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Trying to actually make it be of good use to local restaurants and makers and things like that. So that's one we're really, really excited about. I also mentioned the CPG space and getting into food manufacturing. So Nachery, it's very funny. The team sometimes gives it a French pronunciation. So Nachery, like you hear that sometimes. They're trying to be a little fancy.
Nachery.
Yeah, Nachery.
I knew you were going to do the French accent, Shats. I knew you were going to come with the French accent.
Nachery.
So I put that out there. So the world's going to have that one to joke around with. But that one is a food dating app, funny enough. So, you know, if you're familiar with the Tenders and the Bumbles of the world, the whole idea of Nachery is that emerging CPG brands who are trying to get discovered can put their products on that. You can swipe left and right as a consumer. It's just an iPhone app, mobile app. And then as you discover things you like, it gets smarter. It tries to recommend better products. And it's really trying to find you snacks that you're interested in according to your personalized preferences on taste, maybe nutrition, dietary, et cetera. And if you really like something, we send you free samples. And so it's like the easiest thing on the consumer side. If you like trying snacks and you like discovering new things, we send that to you. In that process, we help CPG companies launch product, understand where the demand's coming from, and ultimately how to commercialize and launch that product more successfully in marketplace. We know the whole process of selling these things into retailers is can be kind of a cluster. It's a very difficult process. And so we want to help CPG companies and retailers find these products that are emerging in these local communities and help them be successful and connect those with the consumers who are trying to find these snacks and these products as well. And the last one, it's kind of a funny name. It's called Lodegas.
Let's say it again.
Bodega. So you being from New York would appreciate this. So the idea is it's at a local
like
bodega.
A bodega.
That's right.
Lodega.
A combination of the local and bodega piece of this. And the whole idea there is that there's so many CPG makers and manufacturers that are just trying to get off the ground in the local community. And you got like the pasta maker, or you got the restaurant that's got a great sauce and they wish they could bottle it. Back to the blurring lines idea. And so Lodegas is a marketplace. So what it does is it finds these makers who want to commercialize new products, a sauce, a drink mix, a pasta, a pizza kit, whatever it might be. And we handle the sales of that to consumers and we handle last mile delivery. So it's kind of like a third party logistics and aggregator marketplace, but it's very much focused on the CPG side and helping makers grow some of those new revenue channels into the communities they operate in.
I love it, man.
By the way, you know what Daran's doing right now?
A lot of stuff.
Dropping knowledge.
Oh, dropping
knowledge.
A lot of stuff.
Dropping knowledge. Listen, you are truly building a farm-to-table experience with everything that's going on at Cargill and the digital studios. Can you share, I mean, I think it's obvious to everyone, but you're here, we got you. Why is this so important?
Yeah, it's being out here at RLC, just hearing you talk to the last guest about trying to build some connections and works and just learning and meeting people. I think just had a great conversation out in the bar area with Jennifer from Q. And just thinking about this principle of like, there's so much innovation and change happening to our industry, and how do we make it a more sustainable journey for our industry long term? And that requires us to take a very principled view on that. And so for us to invest from farm to table, as you say, it's important because we want to understand how we impact that entire ecosystem. And we look at the industry going through the greatest change ever. Things have never changed as fast, will continue to change faster over time. And how do we create a sustainable system? So for us, the investment is all about that. It's about how do we build for the industry, by the industry? How do we help build vertical connectivity and integration? Because such an important part of what success looks like down the road. And so for us, we have to play across those areas. And we believe in that vertical integration, especially being the world's largest food company.
Dropping knowledge.
Boom.
Boom.
Boom. All right, listen, we're at RLC.
I didn't get the questions ahead of time, by the way, on this one. So we're gonna.
You looked at the questions?
I didn't get the lightning round.
Oh yeah. Okay. Good. That's cool. Almost ruined the entire podcast. Right? We have to cancel everything. Listen, it's day 2 here. Beautiful Scottsdale. RLC. We're loving it. So it's your first time at RLC, right? And you're loving it so far. So and you're meeting a lot of people, having a lot of conversations, and it's great. For the folks that couldn't make the trip, couldn't get out here, they booked Southwest. I don't know what they did.
Pick it on Southwest. Pick it on Southwest.
I don't know. What did they tell you? Anyway, they booked their Southwest Canada, couldn't get out here. What can you tell our listeners? What are they missing by not coming? What can you say that you're seeing that they're not seeing? What can you tell them?
I think you guys put it best. We were just talking before we got on the show. There's this chill vibe out here because it's a lot of much more ethereal strategic conversations that are going on. You've got executives across these big companies. Mark King just got recognized CEO of Taco Bell. He's a big customer of ours from the broader Cargill portfolio perspective. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of sense of like, where are things going? Much more strategic conversations. And so as being first time is here, it's very refreshing to have that conversation and be more strategic about it. And it gives you a chance to understand where the executive mindset is on the change of their businesses. So that's one thing that's really stood out to me so far. But RLC, and then also you're at the JW here, so you're going to have a good time, good experience no matter what. A lot of good food options around here, beautiful view. We're based in Minneapolis area, so it's like
it snowed like 2 days ago, right?
It's like I think we're 6 inches away from a record year this year, and it's like, why is it still snowing? We had 80 degrees over the weekend, and then 40 and snow. It's like, what's going on?
So, are you thinking about moving Cargill's headquarters here? Is that what? That's the word on the street.
That would be breaking news.
That's gonna be a tough one to convince the team.
Well, if Cargill's not moving their headquarters here, maybe you're considering moving here.
I love Minneapolis.
Really?
It's a good answer. By the way, that answer is probably A, accurate, and B, necessary.
In the winter time, though?
I'm a cross-country skier. I like getting out there. I need all 4 seasons. If I don't get all 4 seasons, I feel like I'm missing something.
But you will be back at RLC next year.
That's the plan.
Okay, I love it because it's gorgeous here. While the majority of the guests will walk by a Cargill booth and just assume, and Jimmy, you know what happens when you assume, Jimmy, your favorite line?
Yes, my Felix Unger.
From
yes, you make an A out of you and me.
Ass out of you and me. You can say it.
Actually, it's a podcast. You make an ass out of you and me when you assume.
They'll hearing about your newest offerings in flour, cocoa, or proteins. How are operators embracing the work you're doing in Horizon's program and the tech companies you're incubating? I mean, when most people, if you do know who Cargill is, and like I said, it's kind of that company, $165 billion. I think it's the second largest privately held company in the world, if I dare say. A lot of people don't know it outside of the industry, really. And now people are seeing you at an event like this, and they're seeing technology. What are they thinking? They're like, what are they doing?
I think people probably think that. I mean, if you're going to be honest, people probably think that. And, if we were to tell you that we had this like clear understanding of what we were doing 3 years ago when we got off the ground, we'd be lying to you, right? And for us, it's just as much about evolving the commercial thesis of why we're getting involved in this. As much as it is about that, it's also about execution and making sure we can actually deliver on these commitments we're making on these solution spaces to our customers. And so for me, I think a big part of it is if we think about being a food player, we're already a huge part of your supply chain and how you're delivering your service to your end consumers. We think if we start integrating some of these capabilities, not only do you help the food side, you can also help create integrated solutions on the technology side. So here's an interesting overlap that we continue to think about internally. Value add is a big buzzword on the food ingredient side, right? How do you get into more value added, higher margin businesses? And it makes a lot of sense because you're trying to be more specialty, you're trying to serve the customer, be more dynamic in some of that. And it's a better business model long-term versus being a pure commodity. Well, to do that, you need to be really, really good at a bunch of different things. You need to be agile as an organization. You have innovation capabilities. You have to be tied to consumer insights, tools, and platforms. You have to really understand where the movement is if you're in the shoes of your customer.
My head just exploded. My head just exploded, Jimmy.
And I think if you think about the technology portfolio being able to play into that, we can talk to our customers now about like how are you operating cost reduction in the back of the house? How are you thinking about your supply chain? How you think about resilience long-term? And also we have these insight solutions and ordering capabilities and local marketplaces, et cetera. We can help you develop new products and grow your product lines. And oh, by the way, we can supply that. And so I think it's a very interesting concept as people start to see that play out. We really believe in it strongly. We have to prove it over time, but that's kind of the big idea is like, what if you had a solutions provider that thought about the whole thing for you?
Flywheel.
The flywheel.
The entire holistic approach, if you will. You like the words I'm throwing in there?
I got to tell you, Schatz, you're dropping some decent thoughts.
It's a complete integrated solution, Jimmy.
Boom, Schatzy, man.
I've run out, Jimmy. That's all I've got.
All right, listen, I'm bringing Daran into the crystal ball moment. It wouldn't
Darren's
be a podcast.
just shoving these candies down like forget about it. I have to eat one of these
candies. I'm worried it's coming up on the mic. I don't know what it sounds like when I'm eating these things, but I can't stop.
No, I got to look what brand it is.
It wouldn't be a crystal ball.
I think it's a Cargill product.
Hey, it's a Cargill product?
It might have sweeteners in it.
It says made by Cargill.
All right, listen, I'm taking us to the predicting of the future, our crystal ball moment. We're going to ask you, given what's going on, the speed of change, when we come back to RLC 2 years from now, 2 years, we'll be back here. We want to know, what do you think is going to be the hot topics? What do you think may have changed or evolved?
This is off the top. This is definitely off the top of my head, just thinking about it a little bit. I think we're post-hype cycle on a couple of interesting trends, right? I think the ghost kitchen, virtual kitchen thing, we're kind of post-hype cycle. It had an explosion, it had its moment, and now we're kind of like in that trough of disillusionment in many ways. I think operators and brands are thinking, how do I actually operate this? What does it mean for my business? I think you look at the startup environment, it's starting to, the investment space in general is tough, right? And so you're starting to see where the emerging players are going to be. So I think a year from now or 2 years from now, you're going to start to see what a sustainable version of that business model can look like. And it's probably not going to be the super hyped. It's going to be everything kind of a mindset. It's be more pragmatic and purposeful. I also look at like some of the POS and ordering space, like that continues to be an evolution. It's a hyper competitive market. There's a lot of people trying to move up market. There's also people trying to move down market and think about disruption in those spaces. It's always this interesting dance between the integration needs and the partner ecosystem versus how you're trying to grow your product portfolio long term. And so to me, I think we're going to see some more stuff play out over the next couple of years in that space as well. Maybe a little bit of consolidation, but you see people taking different strategies. People are going to acquire to win and acquire feature sets. And some people are saying, I want to be vertically integrated myself. So how do I start doing that differently? And how do I innovate internally versus just going for the acquisition strategy? Pros and cons on both sides. So I think that's a place we'll see some evolution as well next year. And then the rest of the stuff, right? Like the blending of the lines, I think that's a big part. As that continues to merge, how do you create systematic platforms to commercialize new products from food service into CPG into grocery retail? There's a big data play there, but there's also a marketplace and route to consumers and that. Mm-hmm. So I think there's going to be some more evolution there and maybe more solidity or solidifying of what those solution spaces could look like long term.
Jimmy, is it me or is this the smartest guest we've ever had?
This is definitely I want to say it's a very smart guest, but we've had like 100.
He lost me at hello.
He had
I'm
me.
feeling a little awkward.
He lost me at hello.
He had me at hello.
As soon as I got his name wrong, I don't know what he's been saying ever since.
I'll just say this. He is among the smartest guests we've ever had.
Not the smartest?
I just think we've had a lot of guests, and really, I don't want to piss them all off.
We haven't had a smarter guest here at RLC, though.
Now you just pissed off the other guests we had.
Jeez, I hope they don't listen to it. All right, just kidding. He's the smartest guest in the last 5 minutes?
In the last 5 minutes? Absolutely.
All right. Daran, you are the smartest guest we've had in the last 5 minutes on this podcast.
It's an honor.
It is an honor. It is an honor. You've won the award for that. Hey, listen, branded quickfire, okay?
All right,
I'm going to ask you 5 lightning round questions, okay? You know the drill, okay? Don't think too fast. Don't think too long. Don't think too hard. And answer fast.
Yes.
Because it's the quickfire. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Arizona Cardinals or the Phoenix Suns?
Arizona Cardinals. Big Timberwolves fan. Can't talk about another Western Conference team.
All right. Yeah. I like it. True or false? Star Wars Return of the Jedi, also known as Star Wars Episode 6, was filmed in Arizona.
False.
Okay.
I'm going to go true.
Yes, even a Star Wars film has been filmed in Arizona desert landscape. Several landmarks appeared in the chapter of the Star Wars series, including Castle Dome Peak, Blue Canyon, and Vernon Cliffs National Monument. Jimmy, I just made that up.
Yeah, I had the benefit I had the benefit of seeing the trend that our producer and our writer Julie was doing. I saw the trend.
I was going to say some deep research on that one.
Deep research.
Yeah, that was a lot of research there. So all you Star Wars fans, Arizona. I think a lot of people thought it was filmed on Mars, which is interesting.
I was thinking like New Mexico. I mean, I know there's deserts. I thought it was a trick question. You guys got me.
Favorite Arizona-born singer, Stevie Nicks, Alice Cooper, or Joe Jonas?
Joe Jonas.
Joe Jonas.
Grand Canyon or Bryce Canyon?
Grand Canyon.
I think Grand Canyon's kicking some butt today.
Right, because I didn't.
It's a wonder. It's freaking amazing.
Know Bryce Canyon is? I mean, it's Grand Canyon.
Is there a Bryce Canyon? False.
Hey, all right. Here we go. You're in the Grand Canyon. Okay, it's hot. It's big. It's deep. There's snakes, venomous snakes, other crazy animals, werewolves, and things like that.
Good lead-in, Schatz.
Yeah,
really,
right?
You're setting the stage,
and you're stranded out there, and you can only have one of us to help you survive.
One of you two,
Jimmy or Schatzy, only one of us to help you survive this time in the Grand Canyon. What are you picking to survive in the Grand Canyon? It's 110. There's werewolves and there's cobra snakes and things like rattlers and things and other crazy animals. What do you got?
Chats, we're going down together, me and you.
There you go.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You see, because you know what? He knows. I'm running, I'm moving, I'm sticking.
Yeah, you're going to have a lot of energy. Like, we're going to get somewhere. I don't know if we're going to get out.
But
Shatsy, you're wiry. You're wiry.
I'm wiring. There's no way.
You're a scrappy guy. I feel like you're scrappy.
Get on my back. We're getting the F out of here,
100%.
man. I agree 100%. Listen, Daran, this was awesome. Thank you for stopping by. Loving what you're doing at that little company called Cargill. 165.
Cargill. They're going French. Cargill.
Nacherie.
Cargill. We love Cargill. Thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of the Restaurant Leadership Conference, and we'll see you. We'll see you here next year.
Yeah, sounds great. Always a pleasure. Appreciate the time.
Yeah, thank you, Daran. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
All right.
Jimmy, I got to tell you, Cargill doing a lot of crazy stuff over there. Daran, the team.
I find it amazing that one of the largest companies, certainly one of the largest,
the second largest private company in the world, that is a fact,
also has a digital studio in the tech space.
Early stage. I mean,
Early.
pre-revenue, little tiny baby companies that they're incubating to help the entire ecosystem. As I said, a full flywheel
I think
effect.
that Cargill thing, they might figure it out.
Cargill's going to do okay one of these
They'll
days.
be all right. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to tell you. Well, listen, I got to tell you, another illustrious, fantastic, grade A, top-notch guest that we are fortunate enough to have here with us.
Oh, man.
Scott Taylor, Walk-On's Sports Bistreaux, CEO?
Yeah, man.
CEO, president, chairman, COO. I probably made up a bunch of those. But anyway, we are really lucky to have Scott here. I happen to love walk-ons, Jimmy, because you know that I love New Orleans.
Yes, you do.
And there's, as we talk, a huge store right next to Mother's, which is a famous place right there.
Yeah.
Po' Boys.
Yep.
And there's a double-decker, right, you can't miss it. That's always action-packed. I mean, Mardi Gras, forget about it. But Scott's here. Walk-Ons is unbelievable, growing like crazy.
Yeah, man.
So we are really lucky. Scott, give us a quick intro about you, and then we'll dive into it.
Sure. So thanks for having me, guys. No, Walk-Ons started our 20th year, man. Opened in 2003 in Baton Rouge, right on the gates of Tiger Stadium at LSU. Just a cool brand that kind of celebrates that South Louisiana cuisine and a clean and classy sports bar. So been with these guys, two knuckleheads back in 2010 when I met them, but almost 13 years, man. So it's been a good run.
Now, how many stores you guys have these days?
76.
70, and they're all corporate owned?
Oh, man, I wish. No, we have 4 corporate and the rest are franchise.
But what about Drew Brees? I always see Drew Brees mentioned. What's he, guys? He a franchisee or is he a partner? How's that go?
First off, he's a really good dude. But
Seems like it.
He is, man. What
Good
you
football
see is what
player
you get.
too. Like he knows how to
decent
throw the ball.
player, yeah, but he's even a better human being. So no, man, we met Drew in New Orleans at that Poydras Street location. Like any good quarterback, brings his offensive line out for dinner.
Is that right?
To protect me. Yes, he used to come in all the time for that. And then we did a couple little launches with him. But no, he reached out one day, 2014, and just said, "Hey, man, I like what y'all are doing. If I was going to open my own place to be just like this, can I invest?" And so he bought 25% of our company. So he's not a franchisee.
He's an owner.
He's an owner.
Oh, that is unbelievable. I love it. So he was like hanging out, eating and drinking there. Loved it so much. It's like that Remington shaving. I love the company so much. I bought it. That is unbelievable.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Listen, I want to jump in. We use the words breaking news a lot, and often it's respectfully not breaking news, but now we do have one. I think we're going to kick things off with some actual breaking news. FSR Magazine just listed Walk-Ons in their next gen 25 list of restaurant innovators. That is freaking awesome. Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Oh,
What inside intel can you share with us on the tech and innovation being used and implemented at Walk-Ons?
So super secret. Can't really tell. No,
It is.
So they're Danny Klein, those guys are awesome, man. They're always kind of getting people together. So, man, we just got some different folks, different CEOs, different brands, Miller's Ale House, Bar Taco, just kind of talking about tech and what we want to do and be different. And so, man, there's I think there's those people sitting on the sideline kind of waiting to see what happens. There's those of us that are kind of in the middle of it and just trying to look at what's going to be the cool stuff down the road. And so,
well, I love it. I mean, just talking about tech and I got to tell you, a tech company that you guys laid into is something that Jimmy and I love, because our first investment into this kind of tech and innovation was self-pouring beer, beverage. And we loved it. We put it in one of our stores in New York when we were renovating. We wanted something that would be automated, reduce labor,
Guest experience.
Waste.
No waste. Theft.
I mean, we just loved it. And you guys have really laid into that.
Yeah,
and how did that happen? I mean, that's innovative right there. How
long
long have you
Josh
used that?
Goodman, man. What a good guy.
Love Josh
right?
Goodman.
So,
Just came out with a book, by the way.
yeah, I got some.
Gee,
He's asking for your pick, like of holding the book.
I didn't even know Josh Goodman was CEO of that company. I just thought he was a New York Times best-selling author.
Oh, yeah.
He's more than just an author, Jimmy. He's more than just an author. Yeah. So I mean, there's tech right there, you guys.
Yeah, no doubt. So we met him at I think it was like the Pizza Expo or something in Chicago.
Yeah, he loves that expo.
Yeah, he does. He hangs out everywhere. He just met him when we had a pizzeria. It's called Schlitz and Giggles. He put these little portable tables.
Schlitz and Giggles?
Schlitz and Giggles.
I like that place.
That's a good name.
That's a good
Serious
name.
Silly pizza. We sold it, but anyhow. So this Josh kind of started with us
table
there.
taps.
And so now then at Walk-Ons, we just incorporated it in the restaurant. So it's cool, man. If you're sitting there for a game, you got
taps, you pay by the ounce. You guys know. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah, but that's
technology.
awesome that you guys were like kind of like, I mean, we were thinking about that early on. It's just a great experience. And you guys have been, really great customers.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man. And he's taking it to the next level, I think, with the beer walls and all. So we're working with him on just kind of what's the next iteration, for a walk-ons where the tables are cool, but there's some challenges on that side. So
no
the beer
question
walls
about it.
They're just like super cool.
You got the beer walls in some stores already?
We do not, but we're talking to him. He's working on a new kind of program for us.
I think that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
You got to get them into all your stores, all 76 stores.
That's it, man.
There we go. Listen, I love good sports references. I consider myself still.
You're an athlete, Jimmy.
I'm an athlete.
Brant Lake Camp.
And I that's right. Thank you, BLC. And I use sports references literally on a daily basis. One thing I know about walk-ons is you have an incredible culture, and culture
everything.
Culture kicks the S out of strategy 6 days a week and twice on Sundays.
Yep.
And the one thing that is there's this based on this underdog mentality. And I've watched videos and I've seen stuff, but can you share more about that? Because I think watching those things from the cheap seats looks amazing. But tell us about that underdog mentality.
Yeah, man, it's everything. It's our DNA. So, it started, the brand is started by two walk-ons, the last two seats on the bench, not playing, practice squad, love of the game, name on the front, not the back, team before self, all that stuff as a walk-on athlete. Man, it's part of our brand. It's what we do. And I look at restaurant people as kind of underdogs. It's not real jobs. How many times your parents say when you get a real job, you got that restaurant gig,
100%.
Right?
Yep, 100%.
So, you just embrace that underdog mindset, and it just, how do you, people tell you you're not good enough, smart enough, fast enough. How do you turn the no into a big yes? And that's the mindset with that. So culture, what you're talking about is the rumble, which is, there's a legit funny story, too long to share here, but it came from a moment of when we, at our lowest, I would say we were sucking pretty bad operationally. And so this rumble is kind of our war cry of like, we're going to kick ass, not get our ass.
No, but I really do use sports references a lot. And when we're interviewing people, there are four kind of things that make me lean into a candidate, and in no particular order, but you've got two of them. One of them is team sport, someone who played a team sport. The other one is someone who's worked in the hospitality business, because I don't think you can succeed in either of those if you're not willing to roll up your sleeves and work hard and give of yourself for the team. Yep. The other one happens to be in the category of TMI, first generation college, because that's a chip on your shoulder. And then military, I got to tell you, if you that is a discipline. So it doesn't work 100% of the time, but athletes, team sports, and worked in hospitality, I think, are two good indicators of some great people.
Oh, absolutely. I think you just look at if you've been part of something bigger than yourself, you know what being on a team is, man, and everybody's got their role. Man.
I agree, man. I think everybody, I remember I was at some conference and I said, everyone should have to work in hospitality. I don't care, just a month, a year. I don't care. You got a bartender, a waiter, a dishwasher, a line cook, something in a restaurant to appreciate what goes on in a restaurant. Because I think a lot of people, they go sit down, they don't really understand it. They understand it because they know how to eat and they know how to order, but they don't know what goes on back there, you know? Right. And it is tough work. So I agree with you, Jimbo, on that.
Should we go to the crystal ball moment, Shatsy?
Oh, yeah. I thought you you want to know what's next? No, Jimbo. No, crystal ball. No. Right now, what's next for walk-ons?
Man, we're just growing. We're, we love the franchise model, man, because it's once again, it ties into, the underdog deal. Like, these guys are taking their destiny in their hands. They outperform corporate restaurants because they own it. There's, COVID, we didn't lose a restaurant because these guys, failure was not an option. And so, no, we're going to keep growing. We'll open probably 17 this year, finish around 92, 93 restaurants.
That is awesome. Is that 100? Anything internationally planned?
We've looked at it, man. It's a lot of moving parts. And it's just not, when we do it, it's got to be the right deal. There's no rush. We got plenty of white space.
I was going to say, you got plenty of white space right here.
There's no
and
rush.
And when you have an operator, is it multiple? Your franchise operators have one store, or do they have like 10 stores, or is it mixed?
It's a mix, right? So we're kind of like matchmakers. So like a walk-ons is a big deal to kind of take down. So you got like a Dak Prescott, who's quarterback
it's not like
a quick
serve restaurant.
It's not
like a Subway or a Dunkin' Donuts. It's a real deal.
It's legit, man. Yeah, we got a lot. Scratch kitchen, food's phenomenal, but you get guys with money like a Dak Prescott or something, but he's not going to run a restaurant. He's got a day job on Sundays, right? But you partner him with operators. And so it's kind of this matchmaker deal. We got People that want to get into it, that have the money. You got people that have the operation experience, can't do it on their own, put them together. That's the perfect walk.
What do you think of the candies, these hard candies, right?
Dude, I've been eating them all day.
Because he's eating these. Everyone's loving these hard candies. I am going to find out what these are and bring them in the office, Jimmy.
There you
part
go.
of our
the blue ones are nasty, though. Don't eat the blue ones.
No, I like the yellow ones, the lemon.
Yeah.
The lemon's delicious. Really good. Yeah. And I bet you the strawberries, I haven't had one yet. But I know strawberries usually good. Like the strawberry starburst, Jimmy. That always goes first, right?
Always.
Yeah. All right, Jimmy, now we go to the crystal ball moment after we got the candy stuff out.
I like
of the
that.
way.
Listen, it wouldn't be a podcast if we didn't do a crystal ball moment. We're going to let you predict the future.
All right.
When we come back here in 2 years, what do you think is going to be the hot topics in terms of restaurants and technology? What do you think is going to have evolved? What do you think may have changed? What are your thoughts?
Man, I think I hope we're talking about the next gen of loyalty and not like 100 points for a free cheese fry. Like that's so old. I think AI, is like AI's got to play away in loyalty. So I think tech, hopefully not just like how to save labor and simplify. That's, you got to do that maybe, but I'm just like, how do you enhance the guest experience at tech? It's going to be all tech.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think when people talk about labor, it's something that, you've been in the restaurant business a long time. It's not something that I didn't think about 20 years ago or 30. We thought about labor cost every day since the day you opened your first restaurant. It was food cost, your labor cost, and your beverage cost. That's what you thought about. So it wasn't like, it's like a new phenomena, so you always got to think about that.
Yeah. And then how do you engage? Tech and loyalty is it's an emotional connection. It's not like I said, nobody wants points for like free stuff. Everybody does that. That's fast food. Like, I want to make a connection with you and like you get something that you couldn't just go buy, like a fast pass, get in front of the line.
I think so many people who try to sell bring their tech into this industry who haven't worked in it, they don't understand how much operators hate discounting. Okay, stop with the discounting. We love rewarding loyalty. We love the relationship with our guests. We are happy to be extra hospitable and generous with our guests. But most people show up with these tools that are like, oh, we'll fill your table when and a discount and they get 50% off the tab. I'm like, wait a minute, you want the coupon shoppers to get the better deal than my loyal customers? Get the F out of my store.
Yeah, we saw a lot of the big retailers that are no longer in business. They just basically train their customer to only shop when it was on sale. And that was it. You're like, why buy it now? It's going to be on sale next week. And then and you can't do that because you just deteriorate your margins. That you want to keep everything full price. And to your point, you want to have a great way of engaging them, give a great experience and come back. And I got to tell you, nobody wants a half price burger. Yeah, they want to pay. They just want a great
value add, man. Give me great service, give me experience. I don't want it for free. I'm going to spend money. Just like give me something everybody else doesn't give me.
You got to have Drew Brees sitting down having dinner with people all the time. That's the experience. Like you're getting a burger with Drew Brees.
Wow. I thought the last mile was hard to figure out. You want Drew Brees eating a burger with everybody?
Well, not everybody.
Bar.
Not everybody, but like once a day.
Okay.
He should, at least one, the best customer each day.
There you go.
Like,
Drew, you hear that?
Customer of the week.
At all 76 stores.
Yeah, Drew,
he'll go each day. He'll go to a different store, and then you start over again. There's 365 days a year. What's Drew Brees doing, for crying out loud?
I guarantee he's doing more than you are.
He's a busy cat, man.
He's definitely doing more than us. He's not sitting here on this podcast. That's for sure. All right, listen, I appreciate all that. Listen, Scott, I know you got a lot of stuff going on. Real quick, before you get back to the stores, Brandon Quickfire, 5 lightning round questions. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. Don't think too hard. First thing comes to your mind. Arizona Cardinals or the Phoenix Suns?
Phoenix Suns.
True or false? The famous You Had Me at Hello scene from Jerry Maguire was filmed in Arizona.
Yes.
Jimmy?
I'm going yes, too.
False. This is a trick question. While You Had Me at Hello wasn't a one-liner captured in the great state of Arizona, the famous Show Me the Money line took place at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona there. Another great question from our producer. Unbelievable. Favorite Arizona-born singer, Stevie Nicks, Alice Cooper, or Joe Jonas?
Oh, man. I'd say Stevie Nicks, but she just canceled her concert again, so I'm not a fan anymore.
But how old is Stevie Nicks?
She's like 100.
Yeah, she's 100 at this point.
She's still doing it, I guess.
You're picking on Stevie Nicks like you're picking on Southwest.
I think she canceled because she was booked on Southwest Airlines.
Might have been, yeah.
That's why she canceled. Grand Canyon or Bryce Canyon?
Grand Canyon.
If you were to, now you're stranded in Grand Canyon, okay? You're stranded in Grand Canyon. God knows how big that place is, but it's grand. It's grand. That's why it's called Grand Canyon. 120, maybe 130 degrees. Okay, there's rattlesnakes. there's porcupines, there's bears,
Coyotes.
Lions,
there's
tigers.
werewolves,
Lions, tigers,
there's
bears.
lions,
Oh, my.
tigers.
Oh,
There's
my.
all sorts of crazy things going on. It's dark out. You're hearing, ooh, you're hearing crazy things, and you're stranded there. And you can pick one person, Jimmy or I, to help you survive this horrific accident or incident. Who do you pick?
You only pick one of y'all?
You only
Well,
one.
that's
Yeah, you only
that.
get one.
Man, I can't do that.
You got to just pick me or Jimmy to help you survive in the Grand Canyon.
So
No hard feelings, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, no hard feelings.
Man, I can't pick one. Man, I have to have like one of you got to FaceTime in or something. There's probably no reception, so it's really kind of a tough deal.
All right.
Anybody got camping skills? Because I would totally be.
By the way, I was a pyromaniac.
Oh, you a lot of fire. There you
By the
go.
way, so you're just saying basically that you want both of us there.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
that's
That's
it,
fair.
man.
I got to
That's it.
tell you, I just got a funny picture. Just text to me. Do you know anyone in that picture that you know?
Yeah, old Josh.
I think it's Scott and Josh. If I'm not mistaken, I think Scott has his tongue in Josh's
Hey now,
ear.
hey now, hey now.
I
think.
might actually have this.
Is
We
this-
got to get the picture of us on the bull where he's riding it backwards.
I'm going to have to
in
ask him for
Austin.
that. But
Yeah.
this is a great picture that our producer just shared.
Look
I
at
don't know
that.
how she,
We're
I don't know
getting
how
this
she
real,
got
like,
that.
real time.
But yes, it is a picture of Josh Goodman with he's got the walk-on. Don't you do like a walk-ons kind of event or something?
We do. Yeah, we have a life conference, man. Actually, in Nashville in August. Leadership, innovation, fun, education.
Just
So,
for walk-on?
Just for walk-ons like suppliers, franchisees, corporate. It's a good time.
So that's where Josh goes, right?
Josh is a good time.
Yeah,
That's
that's awesome.
that's a good time. Listen, Scott, we want to thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Man, thanks for having me,
Super
guys.
fun having you. Continued success with walk-ons.
Appreciate it.
Feel a real kinship with everything you guys are doing. Just love the energy and the culture you guys are building. To our listeners, we want to thank you for tuning in with us on this special edition live from RLC. We know there are literally hundreds of thousands of podcasts out there, and the fact that our subscriber base continues to grow exponentially, A, surprises us, but B, we appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
See what I
I
did
got to
there?
tell you, it is awesome. I got to tell you. Walk-ons, what's the URL? How do we find walk-ons? At walkons.com?
Walk-ons.com.
Walk-ons.com.
There you
Check
go.
it out. Find a location near you. Go party there, drink there. Drew Brees is there, shaking hands, kissing babies all the time at any store. That's
Eat a
what I
burger
understand.
every day.
And
Every
eats a
day.
burger with you.
Burger every
And
day.
if you spend $25, I understand that Drew Brees will sit with you and eat and drink. That is loyalty.
I think you're giving Drew away a little cheap, but
That
okay,
is-
we'll talk about that.
Only at the Honolulu location.
No,
Only the
Honolulu.
It hasn't
Honolulu
opened yet, but
in
you'll be
December.
there. Yeah,
Only
December.
in December.
All right, we're gonna let Scott go, and we're gonna check out now. So listen, thank you guys so much. This is Jimmy Frischling, your finance guy, signing off and letting my boy Shatsy close us out.
Hey, thanks so much, everybody. Thanks, Scott. Thanks for joining us, the Hospitality Hangout live from RLC Arizona Edition. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.